Welcome to Friday Value Video. We've been doing a long series on healthy substitutes, and we've got a few to go. Today, we're going to talk about burgers. And I think it's really important for you to understand that you want to know the main ingredients to look for. We really want them to be mostly vegetables and grains, legumes. They don't necessarily need to be really high in protein. So if the number one ingredient is soy protein or wheat gluten, which is a protein, it's going to be really high in protein. And depending on your health status, it can increase the workload of your liver and your kidneys, can actually cause some calcium loss. And if you've listened to my Friday value videos for any length of time, you know how a high protein, high acid load can lead to that. So, we're not looking for a protein substitute here, right? We know that we can get all the protein we need from plants. There's never been a protein deficiency diagnosed on the planet for people who are consuming enough calories for life. Protein deficiencies occur in those areas where people are not getting enough food, right? Not enough calories to sustain life. Now, there are a couple of really rare type diseases that can be a problem, but that's not going to be the case of most people. All right, very rare. So we really don't need high protein burgers. So I want to make sure that's very, very clear to start with. All right. Now, some have added oils, which we know oils are not our friend. It damages our endothelial cells, creates that endothelial dysfunction, can harm our circulation very, very much. So, and so I'm giving you some names here. I'm not going to read all these slides. I've got several slides that name burgers, and I put the ingredients there. I just want you to be aware of things to look for, right? A lot of them have small amounts of animal food. So if your goal is to be completely vegan, they won't meet your goal. Cheese, eggs, we know cheese, we know dairy is not our friend, right? So, and remember, the whole point is to keep to 10% or less of animal food intake, because the data supports that being a really good idea. Obviously, animal foods are optional. You do not need them for health. You do not need them for protein. Whenever people say, I need more protein, they always mean animal foods. Plants provide plenty of protein. So let's look at we're going to look at a few here. I got a few slides. Again, I'm not going to read them to you. You can always pause this if you want to look this down. I basically just looked at the ingredients list on these different burgers, and I'm providing some that look like they're the cleanest. Dr. Ornish's look really good. We got a fantastic Nature's burger here that looks really good as well. As you can see, protein is not the number one first ingredient, right? Or a protein substitute. And then we've also got garden burgers, garden vegan, which look really good. Brown rice is one of the biggest ingredients in it. You've got Light Life barbecued marinated grills, organic rice, soy tempeh. So, and of course, soy is a protein, but rice is the first ingredient, which means it's going to have more of that than anything else. And then we've got another cleanest one, Ives garden vegetable patties. And vegetables is, aside from water, the number one ingredient, and then brown rice the second. So obviously, if you've got any issues with soy, if you've got any issues with gluten, you're going to want to be very careful, but I'm sure you're used to reading labels if that's the case in your life. Now, here's some high protein ones that you want to be concerned about if you want to make sure you're not really forcing a high acid load on your body. You don't really want these really high protein burgers, no matter what the ingredients are, even if they're 100% vegan, right? And here's a couple of more. So if you're listening to this in the car, I'll go ahead and name them. Garden Burger, Hamburger Style, Morningstar Farms Veteran Burgers, Original Boca Burger, White Wave Chicken Burger, Eyes Veggie Burger Burgers. So now some of these brands do have some that are not really high in protein, but a lot of them do. Here's some high fat burgers, Wildwood Tofu Veggie Burgers, Amy's California Veggie Burger. If weight loss is your goal or achieving a healthy weight, these won't be your friend either. And then we've got some here that I'm listing. They've got dairy, eggs, oils. So, the oils, of course, is what we want to stay away from. And so these wouldn't be your friend. And of course, dairy, we do not want. Eggs can be part of that 10% or less, but you're going to be hard put to find one that doesn't have dairy or oils in it if it has eggs. They kind of all go together. I don't know why, but that's what these industries have decided. And then, sorry, I'll name them out loud if you're listening to this. Amy's Veggie Burger Chicago, the Original Garden Burger. We've also got Garden Burger Veggie Medley, which is fat-free, so that, but you notice it has canola oil, even though it says that it's fat-free. I find that kind of interesting. How can it have oil and be fat-free? Doesn't make much sense. And then we've got Natural Touch Garden Veggie Burger. Now, here's my favorite slide that I wanted you to see. Make your own burgers. These burgers are amazing. So this video is going to go over my typical 4 or 5 minute max because I want to make sure I emphasize just how great these are. You've got to try them. You just need a 15-ounce can of black beans, drained and rinsed. You mush them up a little bit. You add these ingredients. When you cook these, it's going to smell like you've got a barbecue cookout going on. It's so good. You want to make sure these are thin. You want to make sure they're cooked well. You got to carefully to flip them because they will break a little bit easier. If you don't have instant oats, you can use regular oats and just grind them a little bit in the blender. That's the only difference between instant and regular because they cook faster and it helps to hold the burger together. That's why you want instant. If you use regular, the burger won't hold together very well. So that's what we need. And you'll see it's even under here, chef's note. If you only have rolled oats, just chop them a little bit and they'll work like an instant oat. Okay, so if ever you wanted a really quick breakfast, go ahead and chop your whole oatmeal up a little bit and then put some hot water in there and it'll be like instant oatmeal. So interesting fact you might like. All right, hope you're enjoying this series. The next one, we're going to talk about some interesting facts for healthy behavior. As you can see, we've got a few to go to complete this series, and I really hope that you are enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying making it for you. We'll see you next week.